So you're joining us today at Vomit Studios in Birmingham, and we are joined by Eclipse, the excellent Eclipse. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me.
So, first up, I guess, where do you come from and what's kind of brought you here?
Okay, I'm Birmingham born and bred, Erdington to be precise. I've lived there for some time, and although I've lived in various parts of Birmingham, Erdington's home to me. I've lived everywhere from Handsworth to Aston to Sutton Coldfield to, all over, but, Erdington's home for me. How did I get here? I think hip-hop itself was a medium for me. It was a form of escapism from, just the average stuff, young teenagers and young men go through and growing up. And when you're trying to find yourself and things are a bit awkward, and actually, all the bad stuff that you shouldn't really be doing is the entertaining stuff, the stuff that's really fun. And the more mundane stuff like just staying in school and getting your grades is a real pull. And fortunately, I managed to survive up until now without having gone inside for anything. And a large part of that was just having the focus of my music and just loving hip hop.
That's pretty cool. So, who inspires you?
Who inspires me? Growing up, as I said, I come from a throwback era. I come from an era where the hip hop was good, it was quality. I come from an era where if what you were doing wasn't bona fide, wasn't creative, wasn't clever, wasn't original, you couldn't put it out. You get spit on when you walk in the street for putting out anything less than authentic, classic, good music.
Yeah.
So those artists that I used to listen to, from the West Coast being Ice-T, DJ Quick, MC8, NWA, Cube, and then you got like on the East Coast, be Public Enemy, Kane, my all-time favourite Rakim.
Excellent. So what kind of projects have you got coming up and who are you working with?
Wow, 2013 is going to be a real exciting year for me. I'm working on my second kind of underground album. The first one, Love, Life and Lyricism, it got a lot of critical acclaim, if you like. It was kind of made for my peer group and people of my age, and it talked about a lot of different things that people really got in touch with. Struck a chord with a lot of people. This year, I've decided to put out something that's just really reflective. Something that's actually, real hip hop. It's real cultural. It's real spiritual. When I'm not doing that, I'm working with my two cousins and one of my longest and dearest friends, Suspect, to create an EP, that's going to be classic. I think our group that we had, back in the day was called Infinite Jewel. Whether we release it under that as a self-titled album, or whether we've been toying with the idea of calling an EP, Game Over, because I guess the aim of this album is to force a lot of people who aren't bringing the quality to bench their project. I know that's quite a bold statement, but and actually I can imagine quite a few people hearing that and thinking I'm out of order. But if they understand the spirit in which I say that we're going to push the quality of the recording, the quality of the acoustics, the quality of the lyrics, the subject matter, the passion, the delivery. We're going to push the envelope so far that if you try and release anything in 2013, 2014, and possibly beyond that, that's under that quality, it's not going to be well received. We really are going to take it there, and it's going to be interesting.
Wow, sounds like you're raising the standards, which is pretty cool.
I'll be trying.
So, Eclipse, what do you think of the kind of current state of hip hop as it stands at the moment?
Wow, the current state of hip hop. That's an interesting question. My cousin, both my cousins really, and my group of friends, my circle of friends, we often have this conversation. And the fact of the matter is, Blacker Jack will tell you, or Rudy will tell you, hip hop's in a very, very precarious state. we've got people doing stuff, you know, in the media to get some form of reaction or under the influence of what the corporate world think hip hop should be doing. You know, some dodgy fashion decisions. There's some even dodgy musical decisions. You know, there's artists who are slurring on the mic over beats and getting paid off this stuff. And you know, for me, I can't knock them for making the money. You got to eat, but there's an honest way of doing things in musical terms, and I just don't feel like I could cheat the public by giving a half project. You can't get a fly beat and kind of bounce around to it saying just nonsensical rants. For me, I don't see where the creativity or talent is in that. This year, as I've said, we've got, you know, Blacker Jack is very close to releasing his album. That's going to be amazing. He just released a single called It's Cold, You Know. You know, Rudy Apollo is 3/4 of the way through his project as well. I know he hasn't come up with the title yet, but to be quite honest, he's having such a difficult time coming up with that because every song on there could be a lead single. So, you know, Suspect's working hard on his beats. The quality that we're able to bring this year is unlike anything that's out there currently. So, actually, I mean, it's difficult to keep striving for that level when everything else out there is pretty poor. In Birmingham, definitely. I know that, you know, in London and that they've got a lot of artists and they've got their own little genre up there, and they're really repping hard, and it's good to see. But I think all the quality's here right now.
Great. Thank you very much for joining us, Eclipse.
No problem. Thank you very much for having me.